last 25 years, the pace of technology and information available to us has created an epidemic of digital overload and divided attention. I meet people every day who tell me that they are seeking a respite from the worry and anxiety that accompanies their frenetic lives. I feel very fortunate to have discovered mindfulness as a tool that has enabled me to better manage the stress and anxiety that came with the 15 years I spent as a corporate executive. So what is mindfulness? The American Mindfulness Research Association defines it as the state, process, and practice of remembering to observe moment-to-moment experience with openness. For me, mindfulness is about training my mind to stay in the present moment as much as possible and noticing when my mind is dwelling on things that happened in the past or worrying about things that haven't happened yet. In the early to mid-2000s, scientists like Sarah Lazar at Harvard and Richie Davidson at the Center for Healthy Minds, along with many other gifted neuroscientists and researchers, began to investigate the neurological and biological benefits of mindfulness. Multiple studies have demonstrated that people who have a dedicated mindfulness practice experience measurable changes in the gray matter density in the parts of the brain associated with memory, sense of self, empathy, and stress. Other studies have demonstrated that practicing mindfulness promotes healthy lifestyle habits, improves cardiovascular health, and the immune response, and can actually have a positive impact on the quality of our DNA. Most notably, over 50 studies have proven that mindfulness reduces stress and anxiety. From a practical day-to-day working perspective, when you start practicing mindfulness, you may start noticing some of the same benefits that I have, such as feeling more focused and mentally clear, feeling more self-aware, experiencing more empathy and compassion for others, having an increased sense of overall well-being, and responding more often than reacting to the daily pressures of life. Developing your own mindfulness practice is simple and involves 3 basic steps. I'll explain the process and then we'll practice it together. The first step is to focus your attention on something. The thing that you focus your attention on is referred to as the anchor. Your anchor can either be your breath or an ambient sound. Regardless of what anchor you choose, you can begin by bringing a gentle attention to either the process of breathing or listening. An analogy of this process is a guard standing at the city gates, watching people go in and out of the city. He does nothing. He only watches the people go in and out with quiet vigilance. In the same way, you can think of your mind as a guard watching your breath go in and out and attending to the sound. You may eventually find yourself in a state where your mind is calm and concentrated. With enough practice, this state can last a long time. But for most of us, this may go on for only a few seconds, and then the mind wanders. You will notice that you get distracted, or you start ruminating, or worrying, or fantasizing, or planning, or thinking. It's the nature of the mind to do this. After a while of wandering, you will eventually notice that you no longer are focusing on your breath or the sound. It's important to know that this step is inevitable. Your mind will wander, and you will eventually notice that you have been lost in thought. The default reaction of most people at this point is self-criticism. The good news is, as soon as you've noticed that your mind has wandered, you're practicing mindfulness. So when this happens, the next thing to do is simply return to your anchor. Now that you know the basics, let's practice this together for a few minutes. Remember, there is no way to do this wrong. Just like physical exercise, progress comes from working with resistance. When you're weight training, every time you flex your bicep in resistance to the weights, your muscle grows a little bit stronger. The same thing happens when you practice mindfulness. Every time your attention wanders from your anchor and you bring it back, you're building the muscle of attention. We'll begin by finding a posture that feels comfortable and relaxed, as well as alert. You can practice anywhere you feel comfortable, sitting in a chair or on the floor or even laying down. If you're sitting in a chair, I'll invite you to have both feet on the floor with your hands on your thighs. You may close your eyes or keep them slightly open, looking downward a few feet in front of you, allowing the spine to lift and the shoulders to relax. Begin by taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Now bring your attention to your breath. As you do this, you may notice the sense of air passing through your nostrils, noticing the coolness of the air as it comes in with the inhale, and the warmth of the air as it leaves the body with the exhale. Or you may be noticing the movement of the chest as it rises and falls with the inhale and exhale. Or you may be noticing the breath in your belly. You may even have a sense of the whole body breathing. Wherever the sensation is most vivid for you, allow your attention to rest there. If the idea of observing your breath isn't working for you, redirect your attention to a sound, such as the humming of the air conditioning or heater, or another sound you're hearing either inside or outside the room. The idea here is to explore whatever works for you, knowing that there is no way to practice this incorrectly. Breathing in and out, you may explore counting each inhale from 1 to 10. When you notice your mind wander, kindly and gently return to 1, remembering to be curious and kind with yourself, even as you bring your attention back to your breath. And as soon as you notice your attention wander, simply return this awareness of the breath or whatever you're choosing to place your focus on, bringing a sense of curiosity and kindness. Thoughts coming, thoughts going. No need to push them away or chase after them. When your attention wanders, simply return to your anchor, coming to the present moment, right here, right now. Now let's sit quietly for 2 minutes, making just the right amount of effort to be present, to notice the body and the breath, or just sit here, being aware of whatever arises for you. Bringing your awareness back into the room by bringing your attention to your feet, feeling their weight against the floor. Perhaps even wiggling your toes. Bringing your attention now to your hands. There's many sensations that we have in the fingers with lots of nerves. Notice any sensations you might be feeling in the fingers. And now bringing your attention to your eyes. Noticing the photons of light coming through the closed eyelids. Allowing them to soften and feel a little bit more relaxed. We'll close this practice with a full inhale and a full exhale. Gently opening your eyes fully and bringing your attention back to the room whenever you're ready. While the research speaks specifically to the benefits of what we call a dedicated mindfulness practice, which is what we just experienced together, you can literally practice mindfulness anywhere. Next time you're walking from one meeting to the next, try doing it mindfully, simply by focusing on your breathing and the sensation of walking. You can also listen mindfully by noticing every time your attention wanders from the person who is talking and bringing your attention back to the conversation. The possibilities are endless. However you decide to practice mindfulness, know that every time you do, you're training your mind to focus better and creating a deeper sense of awareness of the world around you, allowing you to experience it with intention. I hope that what I've shared is helpful and has inspired you to be much more present in your life. Have fun with it. Research ways that you can make it work for you, and try sharing it with a friend. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, be kind, be well, and stay present.